Unlike some other handhelds, the Steam Deck has so many mods and accessories that you can add to it, do to it. It's kind of absurd how many things have already been made for this thing. We've got cases, kickstands, docks, cables, adapters. There's just so many different things out there for this thing. Today I want to talk about what was sent out to me to modify my Steam Deck, but I'm too scared to do it right now. I am of course talking about the eXtremeRate full shell swap, a completely new body for my Steam Deck. They sent me the atomic purple one, and I think it looks absolutely awesome, and I would love to see my Steam Deck wearing this. They also sent me some extra buttons, triggers, everything you need to replace this thing. And yeah, they sent me everything I need to put my Steam Deck in a new purple exoskeleton. Let's take a closer look, and then I'll talk about why I'm gonna wait a little bit to do this modification. First of all, this feels very premium. It doesn't feel like it's just gonna break when I set my Steam Deck down the next time I do after putting this thing on. If you've seen my keyboard before, then you know that I am a fan of the transparent, translucent, retro looking things in the gaming space. This thing is no exception. This thing looks absolutely awesome. When I build the confidence up, I will for sure be doing this. This thing looks cool. This is the first time I actually look at this outside of the bag. I've had this box sitting there and I'm waiting. So taking the actual back plate and replacing that doesn't seem bad at all. I think I'm confident enough to do that. The part that kind of scares me is the screen. So during this modification, you're going to have to heat up your screen and pry it off. You can watch anyone else do this modification and you'll know what I'm talking about. And I just feel like that could go very wrong, or, you know, I might do it perfectly right, but just the idea that I might mess this thing up off of taking the screen off kind of scares me. I'm not rich. I don't have Valve on the line just to send me another Steam Deck, and it just, yeah, that's the only thing that really kind of intimidates me as far as this modification. Being organized with all of the screws and other components, I think I could do that. I think I could take the other components out, organize them, screw them back into place. All of that is fine. It's just the screen. The Fox, our good man Bill from the Nerd Nest podcast or Nerd Nest channel, and Taki Udon have all done this modification. I believe Bill did the JSOX swap, or the JSOX shell for his swap, and then the other two I think were the eXtremeRate ones, but that's not the point. The point is the labor actually changing the shell and taking everything out and putting it back into the new one is all the same for whatever shell you decide to get. Now, Bill did a 7-hour stream where he replaced his Steam Deck shell, and I know it's probably not going to take me 7 hours if I ever do this, but just knowing it was that long of a stream is kind of intimidating. But honestly, it's because he was talking to people and he was figuring stuff out, going back and forth, so he was kind of sidetracked here and there. So that makes sense. He was streaming. That is a whole nother different level of attention required. So obviously you can split that in half probably, and then you'll get how long it might take me to actually do this modification. And then Taki Udon had 3 Steam Decks. He actually, he got a 3rd Steam Deck just so that he could do this mod, and I only have 1. And that is also why it's kind of intimidating. So the amount of time it's going to take, the amount of precision, the, you know, risk of failure, because I can't just get up and get a new one or have a new one sent out to me. I could probably RMA it, or who knows. I don't know the you know, what I have to do at that point. I don't want to think that I'm going to mess it up, but I have to think about it, you know, just in case. Over on the iFixit website, changing the front plate is actually classified as a 10 out of 10 on the difficulty level, or its maximum difficulty, I guess, for any Steam Deck modification, because you do have to go in there and pretty much take every single component out and put it all back in, especially the screen part, prying off the screen, heating up the screen. That is just a little bit terrifying. That doesn't mean I won't ever do it, but for right now, this thing is going to sit there until I have cleared up my mind and space enough to organize this. I also heard that the JSOX kit brings better tools for organization. Either way, I want to thank eXtremeRate for sending this out to me. I still think this is one of the coolest modifications, and maybe I'll work my way up by putting the backplate on first, because I actually do think I could do that without any issues. It's not hard at all. Couple screws, take the old one off, put the new one on. It seems pretty straightforward because you're not really changing and rearranging all of the components. So I'm actually pretty confident there. Maybe that will help me build my confidence up to take everything out and pry the screen off. If any of you guys are interested in this modification, I will leave the Amazon page where you can get these shells, or their website, whatever you need to see exactly what shell I have and what other shell options they have. I've actually worked with eXtremeRate in the past, and it's been a while. This was the result last time. I know this is the PlayStation DualSense Edge carrying case, but since I actually use my DualSense Edge often, it's not in there. Instead, I have this eXtremeRate shell swapped DualSense controller. It has this Joker theme going. Some of you older viewers might recall seeing this if you've been around that long. And the backside is my favorite part. It has these like splattered green grips on it. It looks really cool. It looks like paint was just like splattered all over it. But what I love about it is how it feels in hand. It's like, it adds this level of grip that I really like. I don't really like that this is glossy. I would have preferred a matte front plate, but nonetheless, you get the point. eXtremeRate makes some really cool things. I think I'll end up doing it eventually. It's just a matter of time. Maybe their game manual has everything I need. Pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to make it known that I have that shell that I'm looking forward to eventually swapping this bad boy out. I think it would look really cool. I just don't want to break you, that's all. I know I've been making a lot of ROG Ally videos, but that does not mean I've forgot about my Steam Deck. I still use it, I still know it's here, it still sits here every day and is acknowledged, and enough for me to want to switch a shell eventually. But yeah, stay tuned for future handheld gaming content and anything in between. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.